In 2025, the saga of Elon Musk and his estranged daughter, Vivian Wilson, has emerged as one of the most polarizing and widely discussed family dramas on X. What began as a private rift between a father and daughter has escalated into a public spectacle, fueled by Vivian's candid revelations in a viral teen Vogue interview and Musk's increasingly controversial political stances. The fallout has sparked heated debates across X, with users dissecting the personal, cultural, and political dimensions of their strained relationship. This article explores the roots of their conflict, Vivian's public statements, the broader context of Musk's evolving public persona, and how this family drama is reshaping perceptions of one of the world's most influential figures. Vivian Wilson, who came out as transgender in 2022, has openly criticized her father, Elon Musk, calling him a pathetic man-child, and accusing him of cruelty and absenteeism during her childhood. Her remarks, particularly in her March 2025 Teen Vogue interview, have not only thrust their personal grievances into the spotlight but also ignited discussions about Musk's political shift, his public behavior, and his role in the cultural and political landscape of 2025. On X, users are divided. Some defend Musk as a misunderstood visionary, while others amplify Vivian's critiques, framing them as evidence of his personal and ideological failings. This article aims to unpack the truth behind the headlines, offering a comprehensive look at the drama and its implications, the roots of the rift, a father and daughter divided. Vivian's background in coming out. Vivian Wilson, formerly known as Xavier Musk, is one of Elon Musk's children with his first wife, Canadian author Justine Wilson. Born in 2004, Vivian is part of a large and complex family, as Musk has multiple children from different relationships. In 2022, at the age of 18, Vivian publicly came out as transgender, legally changing her name and gender marker. She also sought to distance herself from her father by dropping the Musk surname, a decision that marked the beginning of their public estrangement. Vivian's coming out was not just a personal milestone but a catalyst for the public airing of grievances against her father. In court filings related to her name change, Vivian stated her desire to sever ties with Musk, citing his absence during her childhood and his disapproval of her queer and feminine identity. These claims resurfaced in 2024 and 2025 as Vivian became more vocal, particularly on X, where she responded to Musk's public statements and actions with sharp criticism. Elon Musk's response and public persona. Elon Musk, known for his roles as CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and XAI, has long been a polarizing figure. His public persona, once celebrated as that of a quirky, innovative billionaire, has undergone significant scrutiny in recent years, particularly as he has embraced more conservative and controversial political positions. Musk's outspokenness on X, where he has a massive following, has amplified his influence but also drawn criticism for comments perceived as inflammatory or insensitive. Musk's response to Vivian's transition and her accusations has been a mix of public statements and deflections. In interviews and X posts, he has expressed discomfort with transgender issues, often framing them as part of a broader critique of what he calls the woke mind virus. These remarks have been interpreted by Vivian and others as dismissive of her identity, further straining their relationship. Musk's claim that Vivian's transition was a motivating factor in his political shift has added fuel to the fire, with critics arguing that his personal biases are influencing his public stances. The Teen Vogue interview, Vivian's Bombshell revelations. A platform for Vivian's truth. In March 2025, Vivian Wilson appeared as the cover star for Teen Vogue's special issue, an event that catapulted her into the global spotlight. The interview, which was widely shared and discussed on X, provided Vivian with a platform to share her perspective on her father, her upbringing, and her aspirations. The article described her as a budding model and TV personality, but it was her unfiltered comments about Elon Musk that captured the most attention. Vivian did not hold back. She described Musk as a pathetic man-child who was absent during her childhood and cruel in response to her queer identity. She accused him of misrepresenting his political history, refuting claims that he was ever a liberal darling, and asserting that his recent conservative leanings were not a shift but a revelation of his true beliefs. One of the most striking moments in the interview was Vivian's reaction to Musk's alleged behavior on the day of Donald Trump's inauguration in 2025, where she claimed he definitely gave a Nazi salute, calling it insane and emblematic of his moral decline. Key quotes and their impact. Here are some of the standout quotes from Vivian's teen Vogue interview, as reported on X. On Musk's parenting, he was an absent father. I don't give a about him. This blunt statement underscored the depth of their estrangement, painting a picture of a father who was physically and emotionally unavailable. On Musk's political image, not a liberal darling, I know him, he was never on the left, it was a marketing scheme. Vivian challenged the narrative that Musk's recent rightward shift was a departure, suggesting instead that his public persona was a calculated facade. On his behavior, the Nazi salute was insane. This accusation, while unverified, sent shockwaves through X, with users debating its plausibility and what it signified about Musk's character. These quotes, shared widely across X, sparked a range of reactions. Some users praised Vivian for her courage in speaking out, viewing her as a voice for those marginalized by Musk's public rhetoric. Others dismissed her claims as exaggerated or motivated by personal resentment, defending Musk as a victim of familial betrayal. The interview's raw honesty and Vivian's willingness to confront her father publicly made it a lightning rod for discussion, amplifying the family drama on a global scale. The X debates, a polarized platform. Supporters of Vivian on X, a significant portion of users rallied behind Vivian, seeing her as a brave young woman standing up to a powerful and controversial figure. Posts from accounts like framed Vivian's interview as a devastating takedown of Musk's character, accusing him of bigotry and hypocrisy. These users highlighted Musk's public statements on transgender issues and his alignment with conservative figures as evidence of the cruelty Vivian described. For example, a Money Resist suggested that Vivian's transition was a catalyst for Musk's quest to destroy the free world, linking their personal conflict to broader political consequences. Vivian supporters on X often emphasized her authenticity and resilience. They pointed to her decision to speak out despite Musk's wealth and influence as a testament to her strength. Trended sporadically, with users sharing snippets of the teen Vogue interview and expressing solidarity with Vivian's journey as a transgender woman. Defenders of Elon Musk. Conversely, Musk's defenders on X, often his most ardent fans, pushed back against Vivian's narrative. They argued that her accusations were one-sided and lacked context, portraying Musk as a misunderstood genius whose personal life was being unfairly weaponized. Some users suggested that Vivian's public criticisms were motivated by personal grievances rather than objective truth, pointing to Musk's demanding career as an explanation for his absence as a father. Others dismissed the Nazi salute claim as inflammatory and unproven, accusing Vivian of seeking attention or clout. Musk supporters also contextualized his political shift as a response to perceived overreaches by progressive ideologies, particularly around issues like free speech and gender identity. They argued that Musk's critique of the woke mind virus was not a personal attack on Vivian but a broader philosophical stance. Posts defending Musk often highlighted his contributions to technology and space exploration, framing the family drama as a distraction from his larger mission. The role of X in amplifying the drama. X, as a platform, has been instrumental in shaping the narrative around the Musk-Wilson feud. Its real-time, unfiltered nature allows users to react instantly to developments like Vivian's interview, creating a feedback loop of outrage, support, and counterarguments. The platform's algorithm amplifies polarizing content, ensuring that both Vivian's accusations and Musk's defenders reach wide audiences. This dynamic has turned a personal family conflict into a cultural and political flashpoint, with X serving as the primary arena for debate. The lack of moderation on X also means that misinformation and hyperbole can spread quickly. For instance, Vivian's claim about the Nazi salute, while attention-grabbing, remains unverified, yet it was shared thousands of times, fueling speculation and outrage. This highlights the challenge of navigating truth on X, where emotional resonance often trumps factual accuracy. Contextualizing Musk's political shift from liberal darling to conservative ally. Vivian's claim that Musk was never on the left challenges a widely held perception of his early public persona. In the 2000s and early 2010s, Musk was often celebrated by progressive circles for his work on electric vehicles and renewable energy through Tesla and Solar City. His advocacy for climate action and space exploration positioned him as a forward-thinking innovator, earning him praise from liberal media outlets. However, in recent years, Musk's public statements and actions, particularly his acquisition of X in 2022 and his vocal support for conservative figures, have shifted this perception. Musk's critiques of progressive policies, including his mockery of gender pronouns and his opposition to what he calls woke culture, have aligned him with right-leaning audiences. His interactions with figures like Donald Trump and his outspokenness on issues like free speech and immigration have further cemented this shift. Vivian's assertion that this was not a change but a revelation of Musk's true belief suggests a more calculated persona, one that adapted to public expectations before revealing its core, the personal as political. Vivian's accusations tie Musk's political evolution directly to their personal conflict. She has suggested that her transition was a turning point for Musk, prompting him to double down on anti-transgender rhetoric as a way of processing or rejecting her identity. This narrative resonates with critics who see Musk's political stances as driven by personal biases rather than ideological conviction. For example, posts on X have linked Musk's comments about the woke mind virus to his strained relationship with Vivian, framing it as a projection of familial discord onto a global stage. However, Musk's defenders argue that his political shift reflects broader societal trends, such as growing skepticism of institutional narratives and progressive orthodoxy. They point to his acquisition of X as an attempt to preserve free speech in an era of increasing polarization, not as a personal vendetta. The truth likely lies in a complex interplay of personal, professional, and ideological factors, with Vivian's public criticisms adding a deeply personal layer to the debate. Reshaping Musk's image, public perception. In 2025, the tarnishing of a tech titan. Elon Musk's public image has always been a mix of admiration and controversy, but the drama with Vivian has intensified scrutiny of his character. Once hailed as a real-life Tony Stark, Musk is now increasingly viewed by some as a polarizing figure whose personal flaws undermine his achievements. Vivian's accusations of cruelty and absenteeism humanize this critique, offering a glimpse into the man behind the myth. For many on X, her words have shifted the narrative from Musk as a visionary to Musk as a flawed, even hypocritical, figure. The teen Vogue interview, in particular, has had a lasting impact. By framing Musk as a pathetic man-child, Vivian has provided a soundbite that resonates with his critics. Media outlets, from the Daily Beast to Teen Vogue itself, have amplified her narrative, ensuring that it reaches audiences beyond X. This has led to a broader re-evaluation of Musk's legacy, with some questioning whether his contributions to technology can outweigh his personal and political controversies. The power of personal narratives. Vivian's story underscores the power of personal narratives in shaping public perception. As a young transgender woman, her voice carries weight in a cultural moment where issues of identity and acceptance are front and center. Her willingness to confront her father publicly has made her a symbol of resistance for some, particularly among younger, progressive audiences. On X, users have praised her for living her truth, a phrase that encapsulates both her transgender journey and her defiance of Musk's influence. At the same time, Musk's defenders argue that Vivian's narrative is incomplete and one-sided. They point out that family dynamics are complex and that Musk's demanding career, running multiple companies and pursuing ambitious goals like Mars colonization, may have limited his ability to be a present father. This perspective highlights the challenge of reconciling Musk's public achievements with his private shortcomings, a tension that fuels much of the debate on X. The broader implications, family, identity, and power. A microcosm of cultural divides. The Musk-Wilson drama is more than a family feud, it's a microcosm of broader cultural and political divides. Issues of transgender rights, parental responsibility, and the role of public figures in shaping discourse are all at play. Vivian's accusations against Musk resonate with those who see him as emblematic of a broader backlash against progressive values, particularly around gender identity. Her story has become a rallying point for advocates of transgender rights, who view Musk's rhetoric as harmful and regressive, conversely, Musk supporters see the drama as an example of how personal grievances can be weaponized to undermine public figures. They argue that Vivian's public attacks are part of a broader cultural trend of cancel culture, where individuals are judged harshly for their beliefs or past actions. This divide, between those who see Vivian as a truth-teller and those who see her as a detractor, mirrors the polarization of 2025's cultural landscape. The role of wealth and influence. Musk's immense wealth and influence add another layer to the drama. As one of the world's richest individuals, his actions and words carry outsized weight, making his personal conflicts a matter of public interest. Vivian's decision to speak out against him, despite his power, highlights the asymmetry of their relationship. On X, users have noted the courage it takes to challenge someone of Musk's stature, with some framing it as a David versus Goliath story. At the same time, Musk's defenders argue that his wealth and influence make him a target for criticism, including from within his own family. They suggest that Vivian's public statements may be motivated by a desire for attention or retribution, a claim that Vivian herself has dismissed. The interplay of wealth, power, and family dynamics underscores the complexity of the situation, making it a compelling topic for discussion. Joining the discussion, questions and reflections. The Musk-Wilson drama raises important questions about family, identity, and the responsibilities of public figures. Here are some prompts to consider as you engage with the conversation on X. What does Vivian's story reveal about the challenges of navigating family relationships in the public eye? How do wealth and fame complicate these dynamics? Is Musk's political shift a genuine evolution of his beliefs, or is it, as Vivian suggests, a reflection of his true character? How should we interpret his public statements in light of his personal life? How does X shape the narrative around this drama? Is the platform amplifying truth, division, or both? What are the broader implications of this feud for discussions about transgender rights and cultural polarization? How can personal stories like Vivian's influence public discourse? These questions invite readers to reflect on the drama not just as a sensational headline but as a window into larger societal issues. By joining the discussion on X, users can contribute to a nuanced conversation about family, identity, and power in 2025. Conclusion, a drama that resonates beyond the headlines. The feud between Elon Musk and Vivian Wilson is more than a family dispute, it's a cultural phenomenon that has captivated X and reshaped perceptions of one of the world's most influential figures. Vivian's candid revelations in her teen Vogue interview, combined with Musk's controversial political